Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Fredrick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning we are going through a brand new, just hit the lot on Saturday, 2026 Cimarron Lonestar Stock Combo. This one's a really good, versatile setup. It's kind of just one of our standard options, but it's got a lot of versatility aspects to it. So we'll go ahead and pull up our drawing and just kind of look at that overhead view together before we get to our trailer. This one is a 24-foot floor length. You have a 3-foot 6-inch short wall on your front tack, giving you a 7.6 long wall. Gives you a really good floor length back in that stock area with 2 of those cut gates, but really well positioned to where you can utilize this trailer wide open and haul a bunch in there or separate it off however you need to. So like I said, really versatile setup. I had a customer on the lot yesterday that was looking for one similar to this, just something that he could throw some tack in and haul more than 3 or 4 horses. So up front you have like your RTG front tack, which stands for ready to go. It's just loaded out with kind of all of the options that you would want to see in a front tack room. If you guys are building a trailer, you can kind of change this, go full custom and add more, take away, whatever you guys need. If you're going with the dual tack, it looks just like this, but another door on the other side, and we have some of those in combos as well. But this one here is just your standard RTG front tack. This is what I have on my Cimarron at home. It works really well. It has a really good amount of space within it. So starting right here, you have your oversized 42-inch swing door, and then within that door you have a sliding bus window. I like having the window right here behind your saddle pads because it gets you some really good ventilation. I just like that it will move some air across these blankets when you do slide that open. So if you're going home after a long ride, you can dry those out. Now these blanket bars, they are on a gas shock. I don't know that I ever open mine. They get pretty close to your saddles right there, but I really like that they're on that gas shock, so when it is closed, there's no hardware interference right here. So it works really well if you just want to throw your blankets on and off this way, or also if you come from right here and just slide them over like that, it works great like that too. So that's how I use mine. They're spaced really well apart too, so if you have like a liner under your pad or you want to throw a couple pads on each one, you'll have the spacing to do that. And then down below you have your brush tray. These Cimarron brush trays are my favorite. I know I say it in all my videos, but I really like the size. So they're really good depth and then a really good width here. And then they have these spacers in them, so they have different compartments. Then they also have drain holes. So this time of year especially, I think we're finally getting down below freezing at night. I did just buy a new bottle of fly spray too. So if you guys forget your fly spray in there one of these nights, it freezes, thaws, breaks your plastic fly spray bottle, drains out into your brush tray. It's really easy to just open your door here and just clean it out and then throw all your stuff back in there. But this is just a really good size for catch-all, all those smaller items. And then within there, there's your 10-foot hose for your water tank, but we'll get to that once we get inside of our tack room. And then you have your swing out saddle rack here. So a couple options for your saddle racks on your Cimarrons. You could do recessed, which is just going to be built into the framework of your trailer within your front tack. You can do a removable post. You often see those on front tacks that also have a rear tack, so you can change locations, or you have your swing out. All of them are going to have the same post though. So regardless of what the post can do, it's going to have this same track in it, which allows all of these saddle racks to slide up and down. So I think they're not really well evenly spaced right now. You'd probably want to move this one up a bit, but depending on what kind of saddles you have, like if you have smaller English saddles and you want to squish them closer together, you can do that. If you got barrel saddles or cutting saddles with the taller horns, you need to space them out, you can do that as well. So I really like the versatility and the adjustability, the flexibility that this offers. And then these saddle racks here, I know I say this in my videos and I do get customers that come walk the lot and they ask and they're like, what is so special? Why do you like these saddle racks so much? Because I hear you say it all the time. A lot of them are carpeted, so I guess you can't just say just the carpet, because I do like the carpet for the grip factor. There's some that are plastic, so I do like the carpet. But then this wither block, this is a whole separate piece. So you'll see a lot of these saddle racks here where it's just this piece, and this piece does make kind of a shape that follows your horse's shoulders and your withers there, but they don't have this separate piece. And this separate piece is, I think, what really makes it or breaks it, because it does add more depth up into the gullet of your saddle to act as your horse's withers. So that piece is right there is really going to hold your saddles in place. I've hauled many of these manufacturers, most of them out there today. I've hauled them down the road. I've had saddles fall off of a lot of them, I've never had a saddle fall off of these Cimarron saddle racks. So to me, that just means a lot because I do invest a lot into my equipment to make sure it fits my horse properly. I love that it's not going to hit the ground and get beat up. You have a fold down step getting in and out of this tack room. This trailer is standard width and height, so it's that 6'10" wide, 7'1" tall. You do get your full length running board standard on this, but we do like to kind of just taper that guy off and add the fold down step. I know my one customer from last week brought that up as well. She goes, I didn't think that was really that special a feature until I came here and started using them and walking through them, and I really like that it does make a big difference trying to get in and out of this tack room. I know I don't have that on mine at home, so I can also testify to, doesn't seem like a lot, it's only a couple inches, but makes a big difference there. And then this 42-inch swing door really opens up this space as you're climbing in and out of this tack room, so that when your saddles are all the way out here and your pads are loaded right here, you still have plenty of clearance to climb in here and get anything else you need out of your tack room or grab your bridles. So down on the floor we have black rubber floor mat. Standard is carpet. I've got carpet in mine. Don't recommend, not unless you're using it as just a dressing room and no tack. So one step up is your black rubber mat. It's just like the rubber mats in your stall area, so they cut them to fit. And then you'll notice over here we're gonna get one seam because this is the full width of a mat, so there's mat number 2 right there, cut to fit. So it's not like they have big gaps, but a step up from this would be that gray rubber, which is truly cut to fit this exact floor plan and then all sealed around the edges. Either way, I like both of these options over carpet. It works really well. You do get, I mean, in spring would be big, but here in the winter too, this time of year, snow, you walk in here with your snowy boots and then you're gonna get water in here. This will dry out really well, allows you to clean it up really well too. You can sweep it out or blow it out this way rather than stepping in here and getting your carpet all dirty. Moving up to the front, we do have a boot box. It's a little bit more than half a width. It's like 3/4. It's a 12-inch wide, and it's just good extra storage space. I've got one of these in mine. Works really well for just a lot of the items you don't use on a daily basis, but you want to keep them up off the floor. You can shove them in there. Got a lot of my extra wraps and sheets and blankets in there. I've also got like a water bowl for my dogs in there. Just some extra things to store in there, keep them out of the way. Also acts as a bench if you want to sit there and put your boots on or get ready, and then a step up into your gooseneck as well. We do have the full carpet on your drop and your deck right here, so if you did need to spend a night in here, stay overnight, it's going to be nicer with that carpet. Also works really well if you are using this for storage. That carpet really kind of holds stuff up in there. I've got my deck right here just jam-packed with all kinds of stuff, all kinds of bags and baskets and containers, and it all stays up there pretty well with this carpet. I do make sure it's kind of at least back there, but never had anything come sliding off and land on the ground. And then up here on right hand side, we have a plexiglass storage tray. So you are stock sides on this guy with plexiglass. Probably gonna wanna leave your plexiglass in there this time of year, but come next spring if you wanna take some out, this is gonna be a great spot to store it. So that way you're not just throwing it up here in the deck and it's sliding around and getting scratched and falling off and getting stepped on or anything like that. You're gonna wanna pull them out. Make sure you take your top row all together, masking tape it together and say right hand side top row, stick it in there. Pull out your bottom row, same thing. That masking tape, just masking tape that section together and say right hand side bottom row, and then they all stack in there really well. We do have sliding bus windows on each side, so if you are spending some time up in here, you guys can pop those open and get some ventilation through there. I've only opened mine for that purpose. I've not actually opened mine any other time than when I did spend a night up in there, just because it's all full of storage, but you have that option if you ever need to. And then working back to our short wall, this is our 3/6 wall right here. We do have a shelf. This is standard with your RTG. So you've got your shelf right here. It's 18 inches deep and has a 2-inch lip. And then it has that black rubber mat in the base, which you guys were just checking out. So I've got one in mine. I've got it full of, I bought corner feeders for my trailer, but never used them. So I still have those up in there. I've got a whole bunch of extra cinches, breast collars, just a bunch of small stuff I've thrown up in here. All stays in there really well because of that lip. And then down below, we have a clothes bar. So I do have mine, all my rodeo shirts are in there. I've got extra jackets. My husband takes the trailer hunting, so we've got all kinds of extra warm gear hanging there as well. But then I've only ever used about maybe that much hanging space because it all fits really well right here. So over here, I actually have a set of those bridle hooks that are meant to hang over like a post rail. They have the 2 hooks on top, like that mount like that, and then you get a whole nother row of bridle hooks. I have that over there, and I just use that kind of for like my longer, all my extra split reins and stuff. Never had that guy fall off of there either. So if you guys do need more hanging space and you don't want to go as far as installing more hooks, that does work really well. Over here on your partition wall, we do have 2 rows of hooks right here. So you have a high and a low set of 6 with carpet behind. So carpet behind a set of bridle hooks, when you do order 1 set of hooks, the carpet behind is standard with that set of hooks. So anytime you add this to a build, you're gonna get this. And Cimarron does that because 1 is going to be resale value. So you have your white sheeting over here. This would be standard. If you guys think about hanging some hooks here, and then you've got bridles swaying back and forth with their bits, their conchos, their snaps, their Chicago screws, it's going to leave those black streaks, right? You guys see those black streaks on a lot of used trailers. So maintaining resale, because you're not going to see that, keeps it looking nice. Also protects your tack and equipment, so this sheet is not wearing back on the tack that is swaying right here. And then also keeps it a lot quieter. So whatever horses or livestock you have on the other side of this wall, it's really gonna deaden the noise. That carpet really absorbs it. So a couple nice features to that carpet right there. And then 2 rows, so you got lots of good hanging space in here. Though you guys are looking for more, our shop can always do that. Our shop techs are really great. We have this carpet here, so we can go ahead and add more carpet here and do 2 more rows of hooks if you guys are looking for that option. And then to that water tank I mentioned. So you guys saw our 10-foot hose was out there in the brush tray. This is going to be a nice water tank. I'm sick right now, so I don't have my muscles with me, but you're going to unscrew the top right there, stick a hose in there, and fills your water right there. And then down below, you've got your spigot right down here. I do recommend hooking your hose up, otherwise it's just going to spray kind of out this way, not really fill a bucket that well. But screw that hose on there. You guys can run it all the way out your door. With that 10-foot, you have a lot of good length there to fill buckets. You guys can rinse horses off with that. You can rinse your dogs off if they get muddy. Rinse off your boots after like a mud run or something. Really like having water on board just for a lot of those purposes, but also because if you guys go trail riding, you go out to the ranch, maybe you go to an event and you parked way at the back of the fairgrounds parking lot and you have to bucket water from the spigot at the indoor arena all the way to the back. That's just no fun. So always nice to have water right here. You guys have picky drinkers, then they drink water from home. This is a good spot for that. Also, if you guys just get stuck in traffic, you never know what's going to happen. Nice to have a way to keep your horses hydrated while you're out and about. So that again is your RTG, or your ready to go front tack. Lots of good features there, really well set up. It's going to help you guys keep everything organized with all those storage features as well. We do have white sheeting on this guy. And then coming back here to our stock side of this, we're going to have a couple tie rings down each side, so you guys can tie up off of either side. Got some options there. And then the plexiglass. So we do have the plexiglass included in all of your air gaps on this guy. If you guys are not familiar with Cimarrons, I love the plexiglass because typically I'm not a big fan because it is so hard to remove, right? You have to go way to the back. You have to get yourself a screwdriver. You have to unscrew a piece of this metal trim or aluminum trim, take that off, and then start here and slide your plexi all the way to the back, right? And then you got to put that trim back on. I think this makes me like the stock sides and the plexiglass a little bit more because it's so easy. So it's really cold this morning, you're driving down the road, ends up being 60 degrees and you need some airflow in here. All you have to do is come in here, find this cutout, no matter where, you just find this cutout, and if you can, stick your fingers in here. Otherwise, you can also get like a flathead screwdriver or a pocket knife, but you're just gonna get that guy over this piece there and then slide it out like that. And you guys can take this piece all the way out. And like I said, you would just take out all these pieces and then tape them together, go stick them in your plexiglass storage tray. But just about as easy as sliding open a sliding bus window or dropping a window on a standard horse trailer. Just gives you guys that option to where if the weather does change and you need to get some more airflow through there, you guys can quick come back here and pull this out and easily stick it back in as well. 6'10" wide, so we have all of our axles on the exterior of the trailer. We do have 7K axles. They're Dexter rubber torsion axles. And then our black spoke aluminum wheels under this trailer. And then for lighting, we do have a 16-inch awning LED light over this side. We're gonna have one on the other side as well. So lots of good visibility on each side. We did have a light in the tack room as well. Now we're gonna step around to the back. We're stepping around our full swing gate right here. So it's just your typical livestock gate. Full swing, doesn't have a slider or anything in it. We're just 6'10" wide, so good to just have that full gate there. And then back here, so right now we have it set up as a step up. If you guys are looking for adding a ramp, I know I had a customer last week do that. I took home a stock combo, ordered a ramp, so come back and have that thrown on, but you can always add a ramp if you guys are more using it for like a toy hauler purpose. I know that's his use. He's got horses, but he's also got ATVs and side-by-sides. He likes the ramp for that purpose. If you guys have livestock and you need the step up, this one's already set up with that. We do have black rubber floor mats on the floor. They're just the removable type. I want to show you guys your aluminum floor on these Cimarrons because it's quite a bit different than all the other floors out there. It's not a wood floor and it's not aluminum slats. It's actually all solid. And it's not one piece, they are separate pieces, but when they do hook together, it's tongue and groove. So you almost like can't even see the seams or where they come together. I think that's one right there, but almost a solid piece right there. And then underneath, if you guys were to look underneath your Cimarron floors, I always encourage you to do that. If you have another manufacturer at home, if you guys are here walking the lot looking at some other manufacturers, some trade-in, something like that, crawl underneath and look, because standard is going to be probably like a 16-inch separation between your floor supports. On this one, on all Cimarrons, not just this one, you actually have 4 inches. So it is 4 times the floor. Gives me a lot of peace of mind when I throw my geldings on my Cimarron at home, is that whenever they're stepping in on this floor, they are standing on a floor support. Back here, we do have all of our light switches. So all these light switches are controlling left hand, right hand, our load light back here, and then our lights that we have inside of this stock space as well. So something that we upgraded on this one was that we actually added the kick mats on tail side and front wall. So those of you that are dual purposing this as livestock and also horses, you do have that tail end kick mat, so protecting their back legs and their hocks back here if they do get to stepping and pushing up on that wall. And then we just have our standard aluminum sides on our front wall here. But as you guys can see right now, we've got both our cut gates open flush flat against that wall, so you guys can utilize this entire stock space, which is 26 on left hand side and 16.6 on right hand side. But you can use this full space right now wide open if you just need to load some cattle in here. You guys are taking sheep or goats, you need to run a bunch in here that way. You're just using it for your toys, ATV, side-by-sides. You can run it full wide open and these gates will stay out of the way. But then how we have it set up on this one is that our front gate right here is positioned almost all the way forward to where it allows for one stud wall right here. So this would be a space for like one singular horse. We did have a stud, a horse that didn't get along with others. If you don't need this space and you're going to fit all your horses from here back, it does have an access gate for exterior access. So this would be a perfect slant right here to just stack all your hay up in this spot, all your shavings, all your grain bags. Because it is a full cut gate, it is full height and length to the floor. So you could very easily stack that full of all of your hay, and maybe you college rodeo out of this trailer, something like that. You have all that with you. Take it to hunting camp. You can take all your supplies, your equipment. I know my husband took our 4-horse, which just has a regular stud wall. It's not even full to the ceiling, and he had that packed full. So I'm sure this would have even been more beneficial. But I just think it's a really good, versatile setup. I love this setup with these cut gates. And then I'm going to show you guys on this one how these work, because I think this is pretty nice as well. So back here, they lock into the ceiling when they're flat open against here, and then they actually have a support right here to mount on. So they're not actually just hanging right here. You think they'd get to bouncing up and down and maybe start wearing on your hinges if they didn't have that little foot. So I like the foot because it just increases the longevity of this gate and those hinges. But then how you're going to release it is this AR latch right here. And you guys will see this on a lot of like our traveling gates and our steer waltz, our pen systems and our show stars, our removable dividers and some of our horse trailers. This guy's really easily our 2+1s with those traveling dividers. You're just gonna kind of follow the maze, pull it down towards you, down, and then away from you. And all that's doing is locking that pin in the down position. So now you can pull it off that foot and use your gate that way. And then when you are ready to go ahead and store it back up against the wall, you don't have to push it and then do the pin. You can actually release the pin like that and then just shove it shut, and that works too. So don't worry about having to be finesse over here. You guys can really treat it as a slam latch as well. So this gate right here is just gonna kind of cut the rest of the space in half. So it's a center cut gate from that first cut gate back. You guys are looking at hauling a bunch of horses, and it's hard to tell off of pictures. I see at least 2 there and at least 2 here. So you have a lot of good length in this one to haul more than a couple horses. You guys want to run it with both your gates open and nose tail them in here, you can do that as well. You guys will have 1 tie rail full length on driver's side up high here. A lot of customers come and they see that and they really like the aspect of the tie rail too, because it gives you a lot of flexibility as to where to tie your horses. If you guys are, again, rodeoing or traveling to events, you want to hang some hay nets in there as well, you're not limited by tie rings. You have a whole full length tie rail there. Before I step out our Cimarron roof, I'll point that out because you can see it really well in this one. This one is full length, it's all one piece, there's no seams to this guy here. It is an insulated roof. It's about a 1/2 inch thick. It's fiberglass reinforced and then a honeycomb core. So it's dent resistant up to a baseball size hail. We actually have a really good, like a short clip video that demonstrates a Cimarron roof after hail versus an aluminum roof after hail, that we do actually standing up on top of those trailers' roofs. So I can get you guys that link. You can find it on our YouTube as well. But really good, solid, adds a lot of structural integrity and really changes the temperature in this stock space as well. So it's going to keep it cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. It's probably why I'm hanging out in there for so long, because it does feel a little bit warmer in there right now. We'll go ahead and step around to our head side though. It's going to be pretty similar to your hip side. You got your same wheels, same axles over here, same tie rings, same plexiglass in your air gaps. You got another 16-inch awning light over this side as well. And then we have our access gate up here. So this is a 34-inch access gate. So it's going to get you access into that front cut that I mentioned. So it works really well as a stud wall. We've got an angry mare that doesn't like to travel next to her friends. She could go there. Also just for sheer amount of storage space. We don't have a hay rack on this guy. Our shop can add those though. So if you're looking for a hay rack, I know I mentioned the bridle hooks and the ramp, they can do hay racks as well. But if you don't want to do that and you stack all your hay in there, this is great access, and you can still haul at least 4 head behind there. Again, this one's your white sheeting. You can order these in different colors as well. My trailer at home is black. We can do silver or charcoal. And then up front here, we just have a standard, just your single manual crank jack right here. If you don't want to deal with a manual crank, they're pretty easy. They've kind of changed some things, so nowadays they are not so bad to crank up. But if you do want to opt for that electric jack, we've already got our spare tire mounted up higher over here, so we already have the footprint available. We can very easily take this off and throw on that electric jack for you. Our shop here specifically will install those equalizer jacks. I am a little bit biased towards the equalizers because they have a manual override option. So I really like that aspect to where you're not going to be stranded if you do lose battery power or something. I have one on my Cimarron. I had it done here before I took it home. So I like the convenience of just pushing a button instead of cranking, but I also like the fact that it will come with an aluminum battery box, a battery, and a battery disconnect switch. Because right now you would have to be plugged in to your 7-pin. It's going to be stuck because of our cold weather. But you would have to be plugged into your 7-pin to be running your lights right now. As you can see, they're not turned on because we don't have battery power. So adding that electric jack package adds the fact that you can use all of your lights without being plugged in. So I really like that when I do utilize my trailer at home as my mobile tack space. I don't have a barn with a tack room, so it's nice this time of year to be able to go out there and flip on those lights without being hooked up and see what I'm doing. So a nice feature to that, but you do have a full-size matching spare tire. And then we do have a 53-inch drop wall on this one. So what that means is that this wall right here measures 53 inches. Your standard is going to be 50 inches. So what we do is on all of our runaround trailers, we increase it to 53, because if you guys have been truck shopping lately, and I mean lately as in like the past few years, these trucks are getting taller, their beds are getting taller, and if you guys see a new truck hooked to an old trailer, it is driving down the road like this. That's not going to be good for your axles. you're gonna have to come see us and get an axle alignment pretty regularly, and you have to watch your tires. So what we do is we just take out 3 inches in here, because I bet you guys didn't even notice we were missing those 3 inches, right? Take out those 3 inches and get you guys 3 more inches of clearance over your bed rails and allow this trailer to drive level down the road. Not going to need axle alignments nearly as often, but we still recommend those, just an annual spring checkup, do an inspection and alignment, but your tires are going to wear pretty even for you guys that way, and you're just going to run level down the road. So 53-inch drop on all of our runarounds. This one's a brand new Cimarron, so you're going to get an 8-year structure and a 3-year hitch to bumper body and hardware warranty on that guy, 1 year on your sealants as well. This one just came in Saturday. It is still available. If you guys have any questions, you can reference this stock number, 5N250971. If you're walking the lot, scan these QR codes. It takes you to the webpage just for this trailer. But if you're watching online, go to transwest.com, scroll all the way to the bottom in your right-hand corner and type in that stock number, and it takes you to the webpage. I don't know if it's been photoed yet online because we did just get it, but if it hasn't, it'll have a full photo gallery, and this video will be linked on there as well. Again, my name is Michaela Hall. If you guys have any questions, you want me to stick a sold sticker on this one with your name on it, I'm glad to do that for you guys. You guys can text me or call me at 303-918-6367 or shoot me an email, michaela.hall@transwest.com. Thank you guys so much for joining me. We'll see you next week.